Hi everybody, welcome to Sundays with Amber. I'm Amber. Friday was Valentine's Day, so love has been on everybody's mind, whether you want to admit it or not. There are all kinds of love. So there's the love for our partners, there's love for our friends and family, there's love for the animals in our life, there's love for the natural world. And our foundation of love is something that is worth getting clear about. So what are your foundations of love? What makes you feel strong in love and what makes you feel capable? What are the elements? Is it a sense of loyalty? Is it being heard or seen and celebrated? Is that the foundations of love for you? Is it giving love, being able to give that and in return receiving love? So as we practice today, we'll explore your foundations, your roots for love, and ultimately this practice is a practice of self-love. Sitting comfortably or lying down comfortably. Find any place that's comfortable for you. This reading has an unknown author. I hired a plumber to help me restore an old farmhouse. And after he had just finished a rough first day on the job, a flat tire made him lose an hour of work, his electric drill quit, and his ancient 1-ton truck refused to start. While I drove him home, he sat in stony silence. On arriving, he invited me in to meet his family, and as we walked toward the front door, he paused briefly at a small tree, touching the tips of the branches with both hands. When opening the door, he underwent an amazing transformation. His face was wreathed in smiles, and he hugged his 2 small children and kissed his wife. Afterward, he walked me back to my car. We passed the tree, and my curiosity got the better of me. I asked him about what I had seen him do earlier. "Oh, that's my trouble tree," he replied. "I know I can't help having troubles on the job, but one thing's for sure, those troubles don't belong in the house with my wife and children. So I just hang them up on the tree every night when I come home. Then in the morning, I pick them up again, and funny thing is," he smiled, "when I come out in the morning to pick them up, there aren't nearly as many as I remember hanging up the night before." I love this reading. I'm also conflicted by this reading. I love the simplicity of an act, almost a ritual that this man has of touching the tree branches, the leaves, as a reminder to kind of go into his house every evening with a fresh start. And the metaphor of the tree, which you find in many, many different stories and myths and religions even. I'm conflicted by the thought that my perception and what I want in my own life in terms of love and the people that are in my life is that we should be able to share the good things and the bad things with each other. So the fact that he kind of leaves whatever happened in his day outside of the house as like a separation, I'm conflicted by that, because at the same time that I feel like we should be able to share everything and whatever is coming up for us, I do also think that we need to take responsibility for our emotions and how it will affect the people that we love so much in our life. And to me, that is an expression of love. And some examples of trees in different stories that I love, or just my own experiences. One, Siddhartha Gautama sat under the Bodhi tree and he was enlightened and became the Buddha. The Bodhi tree was a huge symbol in this story. When I lived in Japan, I visited many Buddhist temples and Shinto shrines, and trees are really symbolic in this culture and this religion. Inside, when I walked inside the Buddhist temple, they had this huge tree, and most of them do, this huge tree, and there was ropes around it, and it said that the tree has spirits. This is actually a belief that trees have spirits. And in Shinto shrines, often trees encompass the whole shrine, and they're also considered to have spirits in the trees. And then when I think about trees in the US, I think about the aspens in Colorado and how one aspen is actually connected to all the aspens around it, ranging from like 30 to 40 miles around one aspen, and that if you were to go down within the ground, the root systems of all those aspens are connected. So basically, one aspen needs all the other aspens around it to survive. And the symbols and the metaphors that you could draw from that connection, or the redwoods in California, up above everything else, there's like a whole ecosystem in the redwoods that not until in the 90s that they discovered that there was actual like other living things growing up and could only survive in this ecosystem up above, hundreds of feet above the ground, including other trees that are growing up there and shrubs and bushes. So I think if we can look toward the trees and other natural things in our life as metaphor and symbols, and something that we can draw a sense of meaning from, there's so much there. I'm just scratching the surface with my examples. Start lying on your back and take your feet a little bit wider so that you can knock your knees together and you don't have to worry about, you're just kind of knocking the knees together so that you're holding the weight of each leg. Place your hands on your belly and let your elbows relax onto the floor. And as you inhale, expand your belly up into your hands. And as you exhale, allow the belly to retract and the navel almost to draw to the spine. And do that again. Inhale, expand the belly. And exhale, retract. Great. You can close your eyes, continue to do that. Either closing the eyes or keeping them open. Just steadying the gaze as you continue to breathe into the belly and try to isolate the breath there, slowing it down. And the next time you exhale, just to see the difference in this, try to push the lower back to the floor. Inhale, expand the belly. Exhale, navel to spine, and then draw the lower back to the floor as if you're taking your lumbar curve away so that you start to see what that's like to do that. This time, inhale, expand the belly. But as you exhale, don't take the lumbar curve away and still draw the navel to the spine, engaging your core without pushing the lower back to the floor. So you're basically keeping your natural curve of the lower back. Inhale, expand the belly. And as you exhale, engaging your core, drawing your navel in without smushing or pushing your lower back toward the floor. So again, the idea of maintaining the natural curve of your lower back. You just try that about 3 more times. Deeply breathing. So just get a sense of what that's like to engage the core muscles. And keeping that sense, extend the legs out, reach your arms overhead, flex your feet and firm your legs. Thumbs are pointed down, so you can take your hands a little wider if your elbows are bent. And you can even lift the hands up a little bit as well if the elbows are bent. And then start to reach the hands down. As you keep your legs firm, notice if your low ribs are splaying up, and let's say that your lower back is really lifting from the earth. So on the inhale, as you expand your belly, exhale, engage the core and try to push the mid back down to the mat, but not your lower back. So in a sense, you're just kind of taking the rib cage and you're drawing the rib cage into the body a bit. One more breath. Same work with the belly. Okay, don't change anything. Place either your right foot onto your left calf or slide the foot up to the inner thigh. Place your hands at your hips. So the left leg stays the same way. You're still engaging your core. Hands at the hips, keeping your hips square to the ceiling. The tendency is to rock over to the side, the knee down, and then the hip lifts up. So it'll take core awareness, engage your core. Place your hands at your hips still and squeeze your foot and your leg together where they're connected. And really try to work the action of keeping both of the hips down through engaging the core and keeping the straight leg really firm. And then once you feel like you can hold that, maintain that, and then lift the arms overhead. Maybe that you don't incorporate that if you're still working on the lower body actions. Keep your hands at your hips. Okay, 2 breaths wherever you are. Right, and then hands at the hips, switch your sides. So right leg extends out, flex the feet. Engaging the core without losing the lumbar curve. Place your left foot at your right calf or the right inner thigh. Again, the idea is to keep the hips square. Sometimes this happens. It's kind of like an easy action because gravity wants to take you that way, but instead work against that a bit. The normal tendency to rock to the side, change the pattern. Squeeze the foot and the leg together, engage the core, and then try to keep the right hip, the glute, and the left hip, back of the hip down. Maintaining the breath and the core, and then maybe reaching the arms overhead. 2 breaths. Great. And then extend the leg out, take 1 breath there, kind of in a neutral position. Hug your knees to your chest. Okay, rock from side to side on the hips. It feels good. And then rock up to a seat and come to a cross-legged seated position. Always like a blanket or something to sit on so that my hips are higher than my knees. Place your hands at your heart. And you can look down or close your eyes and think of an intention. Connect with the theme of the roots of love, the foundations of love, and what that means for you. Okay, inhale, rise your hands up. Exhale, place your left hand down, just a simple seated side stretch from side to side. On the inhale, reach up. Exhale, right hand to the floor as you lean to the side. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, float to the side. And again, inhale, reach up. And as you exhale, right hand down. Okay, inhale, reach all the way up. 1 long stretch from seat to fingertips. And as you exhale, release your arms all the way down. And then from here, kind of a similar action in the legs like when we were lying down on the floor. Extend the legs out, flex your feet. And then once you get that, keep the right leg straight, bend your left knee and bring the heel back into the inner thigh of either leg, right? Flex the straight leg, foot, engage the muscles, and take your hands back behind you so that your chest can be really nice and open. Lifting your chest, take a breath. And as you exhale, imagine you could push your right foot, the straight leg foot, forward into a wall. Okay. 1 more breath like that. Maybe hinging at the hips and folding forward, but trying to keep your chest open as you do that. 1 more breath. Inhale, come up. Switch sides. So now the left leg will straighten and you'll bend your right knee and bring that heel into either inner thigh. If this is bothering your knee for some reason, the bent knee, you could put a block right under the knee as well. And they can go up higher. It always helps. Okay, but if it feels okay, then it's okay not to have the block there either. Place your hands back behind you to open the chest. Firm the straight leg, so engaging the quad, flexing the foot. Imagining you can push that foot forward into a wall. Take a breath in. And perhaps hinging at the hips, keeping the chest open, right, with the hands back behind you so the collarbones are they're spread pretty wide. One more breath. Great, inhale, come back up. Stretch both legs out, flex your feet, reach your arms up. Similar shape than we were on the floor, we're just kind of bent at the hips now. Firming the legs, reaching the hands up, pushing both feet forward like you're pushing them to a wall. Take a deep breath. Into the belly, exhale. Core engages. Last one. And then release all the way down, put the blanket to the side and come onto your hands and knees. On your hands and knees, spread your fingers evenly and bring your knees to touch. As you spread your fingers, push the right shin down, so your toes are pointed. Push the right shin down and extend your left leg back. Flex the foot. Okay, as if you're pushing that foot into a wall. Sometimes what happens in this position is the belly drops down and the ribs splay. So incorporate drawing the belly in on the exhale. And as you push your right shin down, shift your weight to your left hand and option to extend the right arm forward. So this is a similar shape to when we were on the back as well. The right arm and the left leg. Right? Toning the belly, holding this as you push the left hand down, the hand that's on the floor. Deep breath. And try to release at the same time, and then we'll switch. So knees are together, push the left shin down, extend the right leg back. Flex the foot like you're pushing it into a wall, and without dropping the belly down, on your exhale, pull the navel in without losing the lumbar curve. And then the option is to reach the left arm forward. So it's opposite arm and leg. Push the hand that's at the floor down into the floor. Deep breath in. Belly engages on the exhale. Release it down. Separate the knees about outer hip distance apart. Walk the hands forward an inch. Curl your toes under and move your hips back and up, downward facing dog pose. Okay, pedaling your feet and walking the dog, as they say. And take a deep breath. Okay. Start to walk the feet forward and walk the hands back. Come into a forward fold, bend your knees, grab your elbows, and just sway from side to side. Still trying to maintain a longer breath. So not a breath that creates discomfort for you, but a longer breath. You're retraining the breath that way. Okay, and then place your hands at your shins. Inhale, lift up halfway. And as you exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise all the way up. Reach your hands to the sky. And as you exhale, place your hands at your heart. And then grab your 2 blocks. Come to the top of the mat with the 2 blocks, or if you have books, you can use books as well. Boxes. Place the blocks or whatever you have at the top of the mat. Step your feet together. Inhale, rise your hands to the sky. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward, put your hands on the blocks. Inhale, lift up halfway. And as you exhale, step your left foot back and walk the blocks back. And deep breath in, reach the chest forward. And as you exhale, straighten the right leg any amount. And do that one more time. Inhale, bend the knee, reach the heart forward. And as you exhale, straighten the leg, fold. Inhale, bend the knee, reach your heart forward. And as you exhale, step forward and fold. Inhale, walk the blocks forward where they were at the beginning, lift up halfway. And as you exhale, fold forward. You can keep your hands on the blocks or move your hands to the floor. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, place your hands to your heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Put your hands on the blocks. Inhale, lift up halfway, flatten your back. And as you exhale, this time walk the blocks back and step your right foot back so you're back into the lunge. Inhale, heart reaching forward, look forward, lift your chin. Exhale, begin to straighten the left leg and fold over the leg any amount. You'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, bend the knee, heart forward, lift the chin. Exhale, straighten the leg, fold. Last one. Inhale, bend the knee. Exhale, straighten the leg. This time, inhale, bend your knee. Exhale, step the back foot forward, move the blocks forward and fold, hands on blocks or your mat. Inhale, rise all the way up. Hands to the heart as you exhale. So we'll do this one more time. Inhale, reach your hands up and then pause. So this is a similar shape to where we were when we were on the floor in the beginning, right? And sometimes this happens and the elbows might bend as well. So if that's true, take the arms out wider and toning the belly to help move the pelvis into a neutral position. Take a breath. Reach up. One more inhale, maybe lift the chin. Exhale, full forward, hands on the blocks. Halfway lift, inhale. Step your left foot back, exhale, walk the blocks back. Little change up. Inhale, reach your heart forward. Exhale, straighten the leg. Inhale, bend the knee. And you can take the block under the left hand lower, or you can keep it up high, but take the right hand and twist. Reach up to the sky. Keep the back leg pretty straight as you bend the front knee. Widen your collarbones. And if it's okay for your neck, look up. Otherwise, you can look at the sidewall or you can look down to the floor. Last breath. Now look down. Put the hands on the blocks. Walk the right foot over 1 inch to the right. Come up onto your fingertips, your thumb tips. You get a little bit more weightless on the arms, so it becomes more leg work. And as you keep that back leg pretty straight, pretty strong, there's a balance component. Inhale, lift your arms up. And as you exhale, the same kind of theme, pull the belly in and lean forward just a bit. When you do that, you can access the core a little bit easier. So bending the right knee, take a breath. Exhale, core engages. Try to keep it engaged and then reach up, lift up, maybe lift your chin, take a breath. Place your hands on the blocks. Step the left foot forward. Move the blocks forward, inhale. Exhale, full forward, hands on blocks or the floor. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, slide your hands to your heart. Last time, inhale, reach up. Exhale, full forward, hands on the blocks. Half lift, inhale. And then you'll step your right foot back this time. Walk the blocks back. Just one time, inhale, heart reaches forward. Straighten the leg, exhale. That little change up. Inhale, bend the knee. You can put the block under the right hand, lower if you'd like, and then take your twist to the left. Okay, reaching that left hand up, even if it's out to the side, that's okay. Okay, reaching up, turning from the heart. Keep the back leg really strong, really straight as you bend the front knee. And then find a gazing point that works for you. If you're feeling a little off balance, look down. kind of moderate, look to the side. And if you're feeling pretty good with balance and your neck is okay, look up. One more breath. Place your hand on the block and come up onto your fingertips, your thumb tips. Again, getting weightless on the hands like we did on the first side. So using your legs, bend the left knee and inhale, reach all the way up. This is called crescent warrior. On the exhale, engage the belly, lean forward, and do that again. Inhale, and bend the left knee more. Exhale, belly engages, back leg straight, and then reach up with your arms and maybe lift your chin. Take a breath. Exhale, hands on the blocks. Step forward, move the blocks forward, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Hands slide down the midline to your heart. And just take a moment to notice, are you feeling a little warmer now? I am. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold, hands on the blocks. Walk the blocks back, step your left foot back, changing it up again. Walk the right foot out 1 inch to the right, and then this time with the back foot, if your knee is okay, if it feels okay, if your back heel feels okay, turn it in and plant it to the floor. If that's not okay for you, you can stay up on the toes, the heel can stay lifted. But as you do this, and you place your left heel down, or you're keeping the heel up, regardless, imagine you could push the heel back, the outer heel back, especially if you turn the heel down. Firm the front leg by bending the knee, firm the back leg, keeping the leg straight. Inhale, rise up, warrior one. Like we did in the lunge, lean forward on the exhale, access your core, pull in, and then really push back and down through that left heel to give way to a bend into the front knee. Okay, inhale. And then with core engagement on the exhale, lift up, reach up, as if that engagement and that reaching up of your arms could lift any kind of compression out of the lower back. You lift up as you sink down into the front knee. One breath. Warrior one. Place your hands to the blocks. Curl up on the ball mounts of the back toes. Step the left foot forward and the right foot back, so that there's a little bit more space between the feet, the width of the feet. Walk the left foot out just a little bit. If you're kind of looking like you're walking on a tightrope, walk it out. And depending on how this knee and ankle feels, you can stay up on the toes, or you can turn the heel down. You challenge yourself, but don't hurt yourself. Okay? Firm the back leg. Firm the front leg by bending the knee and stamping down through the foot. Pushing down and back through the back foot, the right foot for most of us. Inhale, rise up, warrior one. Exhale, lean forward, engage the core. Bend your left knee more and straighten the back leg. Inhale, rise back up with that kind of awareness in the core. The strength of your legs. Rising you up, taking any compression out of the lower back and lengthening as you press your feet down. Inhale. Exhale, hands on the blocks. You did it. And curl up on the ball mounts of the back toes. Step the back foot forward. Push the blocks forward, fold. Take 2 breaths. Place your hands at your hips. Inhale, rise all the way up. And place your hands at your heart. And then stepping the feet together for tree pose. Drawing the belly in, lifting your chest, shifting your weight to one foot, and then turning the other foot out. So say you're balancing on your right foot, turn your left toes out and slide the heel either into your ankle, and slide the foot up to the calf, or use your hands and bring the foot up to the inner thigh, avoiding the knee. So this is similar to what we did on our back. If you remember, put your hands at your hips. If your hips were really square to the ceiling, the bent knee wasn't touching the floor. So use your core, pull the belly in, and the bent knee, kind of the tree leg, allow it to come forward at an angle so that you keep your lower back really nice and open. not compressing anything back there. Lower belly in as you extend. The arms up is an option. Again, you can take your hands a little bit wider. And if it feels okay, look down for balance, help with balance, look forward, or begin to look up. And then reaching up, take a breath. As if you're growing roots from under your foot all the way down into the earth. Reach up from there. And place your hands at your heart. Place the foot down and let's switch sides. So shift your weight to the other foot, the opposite foot. Take your variation, similar variation to the first side. Then moving into the similar variation, and then if you do that and something tells you that it's not right on this side, it shouldn't be this variation, then change it. Okay, hands at the hips. Again, the idea that the hips are squared forward like they were to the ceiling on our back. Now they're squared forward. The bent knee coming out at an angle, arms rising up as an expression of the work that you've just done in your legs. So that strong foundation drawing into the midline with the foot and the leg. Core engages, which helps to lift everything up, to extend up. And taking a breath, maybe lifting the gaze. And place your hands at your heart. Release the foot. And then inhale, come to the top of the mat, reach back up. Exhale, fold forward again. Halfway lift. This time when you exhale, you move the blocks to the side. Come to your hands and knees. You're gonna come back down onto your hands and knees, spreading your fingers. Knees about outer hip distance apart. Touch your big toes together and shift your hips back just for a moment. Forehead to the block or the mat. So if you're kind of uncomfortable with resting the forehead all the way down, you could put it on a block as well. Right. If you're uncomfortable in the knees, if you have a blanket, you could roll that up and put it between the calf and the hamstring to come down as well. That will take some pressure off the knee. If you feel this in the ankle, you can take that rolled up blanket and put it in the front of the ankle in your child's pose. There's a lot of options. 2 breaths. And walking the hands back, coming up to a seat. You can remove that prop if you do have one. Swing the legs around, just like how we started seated. Bring the blanket over, whether it's rolled up or not, and sit back up on that. Okay. I like to do things twice, sometimes in the beginning of the class and then at the end of it, so you can kind of see the difference. Keep the right leg straight, bend your left knee, bring it back into either inner thigh, the heel. Take the hands back behind you, lift your chest, take a breath. With this straight leg firm, push the sole of the foot forward and then start to hinge, and then notice, does it feel a little different in your body? I mean, you still may be able to feel it, okay? But how does it kind of compare and contrast to the first round that we did? One more breath. And now rise up. Switch sides, extend the leg, bend the other knee. Keep your chest open. Don't lose that just to get to some place, closer to the leg. Keep your chest open on the inhale. Firm the leg, push the foot forward, exhale, hinge and fold. Take a breath. And now rise up. Butterfly pose, bring the soles of the feet together, hands at the shins. The soles of the feet together, pushing together, as if when you were pushing the soles of the feet forward into an imaginary wall, now push them in toward each other. Take a breath. Chest open as you hinge at the hips, trying to push the soles of the feet together as you fold. Chest open. 2 breaths here. Okay, inhale, rise up. Gather your knees together. Slide off the blanket, push that to the side, and then come all the way down onto your back. You can take your hands under your legs and then roll all the way down onto your back as slow as you can. Place your hands right down by your sides as you walk your feet back so your ankles are under your knees. And drawing, making an impression of your shoulder blades onto your mat. Inhale your belly. Exhale. So this next inhale, lift your hips and lift your hands all the way up and back. Try not to tuck your chin. And as you exhale, flow everything down, your hips and your hands. We'll just do that 2 more times, like you're doing a wave at the baseball game. Inhale, lift up. That whole inhale. And as you exhale, come all the way down. Last one, inhale, lift. Push the back of your head down. And as you exhale, come all the way down. Like we started, take the feet a little wider, knock the knees together, place your hands on your belly. Slow your breath. Just observe. Just observe. You have a helper. Observe how you feel. And you can stay here and rest or come up to a seat and do a personal meditation. Have a really good week, and I'll see you next week.